Hello, what's up? CodefForge here. Welcome in the next video. Today we'll create a many-to-many relationship using Spring Boot, JPA and Hibernate. We are starting with the project generation. All of the values are default. We have to add few dependencies over here. So we'll go to add dependencies window, and here we will need H2. And also we will need the JPA and Spring Web. So those are our dependencies which we will use. So let's generate the project, download it and open it in the IDE. The project is here. We'll start with adjusting the properties file to use the JPA and H2 database. So we go to the main package, sources, main, resources, and here are the application properties. We'll paste few lines over here, and if you don't know what is going on in this properties file, you can check out my video which is dedicated to H2 configuration. To create many-to-many relationship, we will need entities, so we will have to create them. We'll go to the source main Java, and here in the main package we'll create a new package with the name models. We'll have two entities, so we will have to create two different classes. And the first one will be the stream class, and the second one will be the viewer class. Let's start with the viewer class. So first of all, we have to mark it with the entity annotation. And also we'll specify the table name, and the name will be the same as the name of the class, so it will be viewer. Each viewer will have the primary key, so let's create a column which will store this primary key. We'll say private long ID. And now we also have to mark it with the ID annotation together with the generated value annotation. So it is possible to set the strategy to generation type auto. Each viewer will also have nicknames, so we want to add another column here. We will say private string and it will be called nickname. Last property we'll need over here is the list of the streams which are followed by the viewer. So we want to say private list, which will be the type of stream, and we have to import our list, and we'll call it followed streams. We'll also assign memory, so we'll say new array list, like this. Now to create the many-to-many relationship, we will have to mark this stream list collection with some annotations, but we'll do it after creating a mapping of the stream entity. Before we will jump to the stream entity, let's first add the constructor for the viewer. So we want to generate a constructor. We'll do it only for the nickname. And also we'll create one additional method over here for following the particular stream. So we'll say it will be public void, and we'll call our method follow stream, and it will accept stream object. And the body of this method will be pretty simple. We'll say followed streams add, and we'll add the stream. Now we can move to the stream entity, and first of all we want to mark it with the entity annotation together with the table annotation to specify the name of the table. So we'll say name, and it will be the same as the name of the class. We'll also have the primary key for each stream, so we say ID together with the generated value, and the strategy set to generation type auto. And of course we want to put it on the private long ID property. In our case, each stream will also have name. So we'll go over here and we'll say private string name. And since we are creating a many-to-many relationship, in the stream entity we'll have the collection of the viewers. So this viewers collection will store the list of viewers which are following this stream. And to do it, we want to say private list, and it will be for viewer object. We have to import the list. And it will be called followers, and we'll also assign memory, so we'll say new array list. Let's also generate the constructor for this stream entity for the name only, and we'll add one more custom method for adding viewers to the list of the followers. So we'll say public void add viewer, and it will accept the viewer object. Yes, this one, and it will be simple. So we want to use the followers list and add new viewer like this. So now let's take care of our many-to-many relationship. And the first thing we want to do is to mark our followers collection with the many-to-many annotations. So we want to say many-to-many, and we'll specify one more attribute over here because we are creating a bidirectional relationship. So we'll say mapped by, and we'll say over here followed streams. And this followed streams is the name of the property which is owning this relationship. And this followed streams is existing over here in the viewer entity. It is this one. This collection also has to be marked with the many-to-many annotation. So we'll say many-to-many over here. Because we are creating a many-to-many relationship, we will have the third table which will store the association between our entities. And this table is called association table. And we need some way to describe the name of this table and also the column names for the foreign keys of the stream entity and the viewer entity. And we can do it by using the join table annotation. So under the many-to-many annotation, we want to say join table. And here we want to specify a few attributes. The first one is the name of the association table. So we'll say name and we'll call it followed underscore streams. Next one is join columns. So we go over here and we'll say join columns equals to join column annotation. And here we want to specify the name and we want to set it to viewer underscore ID. Over here, using this attribute, we are specifying the name of the column which will store the foreign key of the entity, which is the owning side. And in our case, the owning side is the viewer entity. So this is why we called the column viewer ID. We can also specify the column name, which will store the foreign key of the non-owning side. And we can do it by using inverse join columns. And again, we want to use the join column annotation over here and specify the name. And in our case, the non-owning side of this relationship is stream. So we want to say stream underscore ID. So this is how we have created our many-to-many relationship. Now we can start our application. So we can go to the Maven and we want to go to the plugins, Spring Boot Run. And after a few seconds, our application should be good. And we'll check if the tables are correctly created. Let's open the web browser and let's navigate to the web console of the H2 database. And here we want to connect. And we can see that we have three tables. One for the viewer entity. it has ID and nickname. One for the stream, it has ID and the name. And we also have this third table, which is the association table, and it has the viewer ID and the stream ID. So this is the place where the assignment of the viewer to the stream and stream to the viewer will be stored. Okay, we can close it up, stop the application, and create repositories for our entities. So first we want to create a package for them. So we right click our main package, and here we want to say repository. And we'll have two repositories, one for each entity. So it will be stream repository, and we want to change the class to the interface, of course. And also the second one for the viewer. So it will be viewer repository. Let's start with the viewer. So of course we will mark it with the repository, which is not longer required, but we'll do it. And we want to say extends, and we'll use the CRUD repository, which is the generic type. So we want to pass the viewer entity first. We have to import it. And also the primary key was type of long, so we will say long. We'll do exactly the same for the stream repository. So we will go over here, mark it with the repository, and we will also extend the CRUD repository, but this time for the stream. Yes, and the primary key was long. Repositories are ready, so we can move to our main class to perform some tests. So first of all, we want to retrieve the context, and it will be configurable application context, and we'll store here the reference, which will be returned by the run method. Now we have to create references to our repositories. We will need both of them. So the first one will be stream repository, let's say, with the same name, and using context we can retrieve it from it. So we'll say stream repository.class. Okay, let's make it a little bit smaller, and let's move it to another line. Okay, and also the same for the viewer repository. So we'll say viewer repository with the same name, and again configurable application context, get bin, and it will be this time for the viewer repository.class. Repositories looks good. Now let's create objects which we will persist to the database. So let's create a viewers first. So we will have John viewer, and we'll use our constructor. So it was viewer, and let's say it will be John 1, 2, and we will have another viewer, and this time it will be Will viewer, and it will be new viewer, and let's say it will be Will M2, and let's create the third one. So it will be viewer, it will be some viewer, and also we'll use the constructor over here, and the nickname will be mighty Sam, let's say. Now let's add them to the list, because it will be easier to save them to the database. So we'll say list, and it will be for the viewer class, and it will be viewers, and we want to use the static method from the arrays as list, and we'll pass our viewers. So the first one was John, Will, and Sam. Let's also create streams objects. So we go over here and we'll say stream, and the first one will be cooking stream. Let's import it first, cooking stream. and we'll use our constructor. So we will say new stream, and we will name it cooking is awesome. And we will have another one, which will be the gaming stream. And we'll say new stream, and let's say it will be chill gaming. Okay, looks good. Let's also add them to the list so it will be easier to save them. So we'll say a list, and it will store stream objects with the name streams. And again, static method from the arrays class, so it will be as list. And we want to pass cooking stream and the gaming stream. Okay, so we can save our streams to the database. So we'll say stream repository, and we'll use save all method. And now we can simply pass our streams collection. Now we want to make our viewers to follow the streams. So we'll say join viewer, and we'll use the method which we have created. So it will be follow stream, which accepts the stream object, and the John will follow the cooking stream. And we'll do the same for the will viewer and the sum viewer, but will viewer will follow gaming stream, and the sum will also follow gaming stream. Now we can persist our users to the database. So to achieve that, we can say viewer repository, save all, and we'll pass our viewers list. Everything looks good, so now let's start the application and we will check if everything works correctly. So we say Spring Boot run, and after a few seconds it should be up, and we'll open the web browser. So here's the web console of the H2 database we want to connect. And let's check the viewer table first. So we say run, and we can see that we have 3 different viewers. It's John, Will, and Sam. And now let's check out the stream table. And we can see that we have 2 streams, cooking is awesome and chill gaming. And now the last one, followed streams, association table for our mapping. If we select the data from there, we can see that the viewer with the ID 3 is following the stream with the ID 1, and the viewers with the ID 4 and 5 are following the stream with the ID 2. Let's make one more adjustment. So one of the viewers will follow 2 streams in the same time, so we can close it. We can stop the application. Let's say that some viewer will also follow the cooking stream. So we'll say some viewer, follow stream, and we will pass cooking stream. So let's start the application again. We have to wait a few seconds. And let's open the web browser. Here it is. We want to connect and select the data from the followed streams table. We can see here at the bottom that we have a new entry, and the viewer with the ID 5, which is probably Sam, is following the stream with the ID 1 and also the stream with the ID 2. So each viewer can follow many streams, and also from the second side, each stream can be followed by many viewers. And we can see it over here that stream with the ID 2 is followed by the viewers with the ID 4 and 5. This is how you want to create your many-to-many relationship using JPA and Hibernate. I encourage you to further explore this topic, and you can create your own code, your own relationship mapping, or extend the one we have created today. This is also the last video of the entire series of the JPA and Hibernate relationship mappings. I hope you enjoyed this video and also the entire series. And if you haven't seen the previous videos, I encourage you to check it out. Thank you for watching, and remember about liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. See you next time.